The final award goes to Paul Taylor. Paul is a musician and storyteller. He's performed for 140,000 people in Wyoming in nearly 2,000 performances. At some of his K-12 school residencies, Paul works with students to create murals. The murals use strong colors applied in traditional Australian dot painting and X-ray style. Paul also conducts music workshops with didgeridoos. Now, I'm familiar with the didgeridoo because several years ago, Carol and I went to Australia where I was quite taken with didgeridoos. And so the year after we got back, guess what I got for my birthday? A didgeridoo. And yet another attempt for me to perform artistically, and really what all happened, it was sort of a drip system to a spittoon for me. That's what happened. So, Carol's frowning right now. She's frowning. Paul also, not only didgeridoos, but whackadoos that, no surprise, are quite popular with students. Paul travels widely around the U.S. and annually returns to his native Australia. He works there with a mentor, Bill Harney, in his homeland, and we are glad Paul found his way to Wyoming, that he shares his knowledge of another continent with us. Here's the video.
I actually went to university when I was 16 and I studied social work, and I got to meet Aboriginal people as part of my work and go out to these communities. I found them so welcoming, and there was a sense of security, a sense of joy that I felt was missing when I was growing up in Adelaide, and I came from a very happy Catholic family.
He came 25 some years ago, I think, to be part of a Mountain Man festival.
And I was invited out to schools, and then that just started a whole lifestyle.
When Paul comes into a school for a residency, he's there for about a week.
He covers everything from science, history, all the arts, of course. He does the physics of sound.
You've got one sound wave going down there.
And the components of using a boomerang.
A concept of gyroscopic precession.
Those kids gain from that experience something that they never would in any kind of traditional school type of setting.
It just widens your horizons and make you understand other cultures and other places in our big wide world that most of our kids will never see.
I think that essence of play, which is built into the arts and all the art forms, painting, dancing, singing, and the storytelling, I take that into a school residency. It's incredible the joy that comes out of the kids. And they think they're not working, but we work pretty hard.
When he leaves that following week, the kids are like, where is he? Isn't he staying here?
He treats everyone as the most special person in the world.
We can't go anywhere in this state when somebody isn't coming up and saying, "Hey, I'm Mr. Taylor."
Oh, you're Paul Taylor, you're that didgeridoo guy.
It's like walking with a rock star.
When you think about something, sometimes you take it with you and sometimes you forget about it. Then when you feel something, you take it with you. When you really connect with music and storytelling, like, with Paul's presentation, it's a very powerful thing.
One of the prime things I do first is I teach them a pay attention song. I get a letter back from a kid and he said, "I sang that song at home and my home was not happy before you came to our school." So all I know is it's really powerful.
I'm going to read, actually. I'm a storyteller, so they said 3 minutes, so I'm going to put my life into 3 minutes, and I'll do my best. In the 1960s, I grew up in Adelaide, the capital of South Australia, with virtually little, if any, arts education in my schooling. In the 1970s, I went to university at 16 to study social work. My education was deeply affected by the American and global social revolution. I was surrounded by creative thinkers, and major change was happening in all our institutions. Government funding gave birth to our film industry and the Adelaide Festival of Arts, the second biggest arts festival in the world now, outside of Edinburgh. In a rapidly changing world, I made a conscious decision not to follow a career path, but to travel, have experiences, have a genuine adventure with my life, and let my path open up. So I did. I worked and hung out with Aboriginal elders in the bush. I lived with a squatter family in Manila, peasant farmers in Mindanao. I joined a circus show as a clown in the UK. I studied acting and theatre in London and visited my European ancestral homelands. In 1985, the Adelaide Festival called and asked me to guide, tour and stage manage an American artist on a 12-week tour of my home state. His name was Bobby Bridger, a descendant of Jim Bridger. For 12 weeks, I listened to his Ballad of the West stories of the mountain men, the Lakota, Sitting Bull, and Buffalo Bill. We finished the tour in the dead heart of the outback with the Pitjantjatjara Aboriginal people. Bobby shared his story, and they shared their creation story of the 7 sisters who rose up in the sky to become the Pleiades constellation. And Bobby said, we've got that same Lakota story here in Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Then 4 years later, I joined the Ballad of the West as a member of the first theatre company to tour Yellowstone. In 1990, I was walking around Yellowstone with buckskins and a silver fox on my head. I used the didgeridoo sound to help recreate the famous bear mauling of the mountain man Hugh Glass. The story now playing across the country as the film The Revenant. And so began my Wyoming adventure. Thank you. And as somebody coming in from the outside, as a traveller coming into this state, I was quite prepared to go home at any time. And if it wasn't for the welcoming nature of this state and the relationships, a lot of those people are in this room tonight, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be standing here if I wasn't so welcomed. All those people, all my friends, my partner Pia, we wouldn't have been able to bring the Aboriginal elder, 80 years of age, who couldn't read or write, on a state tour. 2 times we brought him on a state tour. I couldn't have been invited into people's homes. This is what it feeds an artist on the road, and going around the state. It can be a pretty lonely adventure being a traveller. And that's why I stayed. And so I thank you. I thank all of you in this room because you're all part of it. Thank you. According to the Aboriginal people in Australia, the oldest living cultural history in the world, the spirit ancestors came down from the sky, they came out of the earth, they came out of the ocean, and they were singing. They went across the land, giving birth to the land, singing, and giving birth to the people. They passed the songs on to the people, and with the songs, they passed the dances and the paintings onto the people, and the ceremonies. And these teach the people Not yet. These teach the people. Not yet. These teach the people about caring for the land and about caring for each other. This is the law. For the Waterman people in the north of Australia, they have the famous rainbow snake called Corandomi, who came up from the very core of the earth, brought the water to the world, made the oceans, and swept across and made the rivers. They have the long, tall, skinny fella, the Sky Father, the boss of the stars. He's called Nadi. He came down from the sky with his spiderweb rope, his spiderweb string rope. And he met the Earth Mother, Dung Dung, the frog lady. They immediately fell in love and they sang. And when they sang, when those two got married, then Rainbow brought the rain and gave a drink to all the children on the earth. And these are the children, if you look at the paintings here, some of the oldest rock paintings in the world, you see the spirit children. They come down with the lightning and they have this black line down their center. That's their song. That's their creation song, and that's their special gift. And they're perfect. And the job of the elders, which is us, is to bring out the special gifts in our children. And this is the law. And this is passed on. And our job as the elders is to teach the children to care for your country, your mother. And in doing so, you learn to care for each other. And this teaching, this law, this caring is done through the song, the dance, the painting, the ceremonial theatre. This law, this caring, regenerates our very land and it regenerates our very communities. This is what we call the arts. Okay. And so the ancestors sang. I'm going to ask you all to sing along. Here we go. Everybody in the whole room. Sing out. Everybody. Keep going. And they came down and they brought the dancers to the people. And they brought the dancers to the people. And the dancers changed into the birds. So gentle with his footsteps, teaching us to be gentle with the earth. And the ancestors then changed into the sandhill cranes. Ancestors then changed into the frilled-neck lizards, the great dancers. and they changed into the prairie dogs. Everybody keep singing. And then they changed into the antelope. Watch those antelope, they're coming around. And then they changed into the eagles. Keep going. Eagles fly home, please. And everybody, I'll give them a round of applause. And in the Aboriginal way, this is incredibly powerful. We're going to do a little ritual. We're all going to stand, or you can sit if you want to, but I want you to stand. We're going to put the song into the ground where the mother is. The song's going up into the sky where the father is. This will bring the rain that will fill the rivers throughout Wyoming. It will bring happiness to the land. So we're going to go down. We're going to go for the mother. We go ground, and the sky. Everybody sing ground, and the sky. We'll just do one more now to the mother. And to the father. And shake your knees. Now you shake your knees like this. And then put it up in the sky like this. There we go. Thank you very much. Our dancers, our band. Thank you.